Hello there. So I welcome you back to the episode on another episode on the series Why I Reject Islam. And this particular episode is so important because we're going to compare the life of Muhammad with other prophets. And then you can judge by yourself who the real prophet is and what you ought to follow. So before I'm going to narrate a story, not to me. I just want to read it. I'm not forging anything. I want to read it. So let's go back to our hadith tool, which is sunnah.com. On the screen, you can see that this is Sahih al-Bukhari, and it is hadith on medicine. It's a hadith on medicine. Sahih al-Bukhari on medicine. By the way, it's a little bit long, but you can see that it is 5765. Hadith 5765. Let's start reading from the beginning. Narrated Aisha. Magic was worked on Allah's apostle so that he used to think that he had sexual relations with his wives while he actually had not. Wow. I hope you understand this. Magic, in other words, voodoo, black magic. We call it juju. In this part of the world, it is called juju. So they used juju on him, on Muhammad, and it worked. It worked. And the effect of the juju was that he would be, I don't understand. Why is it all about sex? In all the things in the world that one could talk about, even if juju was working on you, why is it that it was all about sex? Look at it again. He used to think that he had, I don't know what to say about that. He used to think that he had sexual relations with his wives while he actually had not. Sufyan said, that is the hardest kind of magic as it has such an effect. Wow. The hardest, the biggest, the greatest kind of magic of juju was what they used on him, and it had the effect that he was, he didn't know what he was doing. He was unconscious because he would be thinking that he had slept with his wives. Why was he thinking like that? Why not thinking that he had given a lecture on Islam? Why is it all about sex? So he thought that he had slept with his wives while he had not. Let's read it. Then one day he said, "Oh Aisha, do you know that Allah has instructed me concerning the matter I asked him about? Two men came to me." He is now beginning to tell us how he got to know that he was healed. Two men came to me, and one of them sat near my head, and the other sat near my feet. The one near my head asked the other, "What is wrong with this man?" So he had them. I don't know whether it was in a trance or a dream or a vision. So it was sleeping. Apparently angels, when he said two men, I don't know what, but let's say angels. One sat at his head, the other at his feet, and they were talking. They were not talking to him. They were just discussing. "Do you know what is wrong with this man?" Oh, the latter replied, "He is under the effect of magic." The first one asked him, "Who has worked magic on him?" The other replied, "Labid bin al-Asam, a man from Bani Quraik who was an ally of the Jews and was a hypocrite. Always bringing Jews. You understand that? So these people, whether they're angels or aliens or whoever they were, while Muhammad was sleeping, he saw them, one sitting at his head, one sitting at his feet, and they were having conversation. So that's how he got to know who did it to him, who made him to lose his mind. The first one asked, "What material did he use?" The other replied, "A comb and the hair stuck to it. So the comb that Muhammad used to comb his hair was what they used. Where did he keep that comb? Remember, he had several wives, about 9. Some say 11. Some say 13. Where did they pick it? And nobody could enter into the rooms, into the houses of his wives. So how did these men? By the way, I know how they got it. His wives had to breastfeed them so that they could enter. Okay, that's another story for another day. So they used a comb and the hair stuck to it. The first one asked, "Where is that?" The other replied, "In a skin of pollen of a male date palm, okay, kept under a stone in the well of Dawan." So the prophet went. So he woke up and he got the idea, okay. So the prophet went to that well and took out those things and said, "That was the well which was shown to me in a dream. Its water looked like the infusion of henna leaves, and its date palm trees looked like the heads of devils." The prophet added, "Then that thing was taken out. I said to the prophet, 'Why do you not treat yourself with Nashra?' He said, 'Allah has cured me. I dislike to let evil spread among my people.'" Do you understand these things? Does it have any meaning? Does it have any meaning? So for some time, some hadiths, some narrations say it was about 6 months. Some say it was about 12 months. Muhammad was behaving abnormally. He was behaving strangely. Maybe they would bring food to him and he would say, "I've already eaten. You have just given me my food now." He say, "What do you mean? We've not given you food." "Oh, I've eaten." And then on another occasion, he would say, "Oh, I've just slept with mention one of his wives." And I don't know whether people went there to make inquiry from that wife. And maybe she denied and said, "No, I've never seen him in about a week." So that's how they came about this thing, to know that he would say things that were not true because he was under the effect of juju. Listen to me, Muslims. You can use your juju. You can try to use your juju on me. I know it's not going to work. It just won't work. And I'll show you why it's not going to work on me. Give me a moment to do that. I'll show you a particular passage in the Bible. This is in Numbers chapter 23. Numbers 23. Let's read in verse 23. Numbers 23:23. Just hope it's right there on the screen. Let me adjust it a little. And let's see. It's not. I want it to be. Okay, what I would do is I actually want it. So let me. Okay, I think it's okay like this. All right, so this is Numbers 23. I nearly said ayah 23. Well, ayah simply means verse anyway. So this is Numbers 23:23. This says, "There is no divination against Jacob." That is talking about the nation of Israel. "No evil omens against Israel. It will now be said of Jacob and of Israel, 'See what God has done.'" Let's read another verse. "No curse can touch Jacob. No magic has any power against Israel, against the people of God. Whether they were prophets or they were just normal people. There's no magic. There's no sham." This particular one says magic, mentions magic. How come that magic worked on Muhammad and magic is not going to work on children of God if they are not committing sin? You remember the case of Balaam and Balak? Yes. Balak went to call Balaam to come and curse Israel. By the way, I think it was Balaam himself that was saying this. So he tried to curse them. It didn't work. How did it work on Muhammad? Show me one prophet in history. One. Any one prophet in history. Any true prophet that had juju, magic, voodoo working on him. Show me one. Only Muhammad. Only Muhammad. There is no curse that can touch Jacob, that can touch the people of God. No curse. You can try it. Just make sure you are ready for the consequences. Use your whatever you want to use. Use them. Use your tira, use your invocation, use your curse, use anything. Go and get whatever power from Pakistan, from Saudi Arabia, anything. Call on the jinns. I'm here. Send them. Only make sure you are ready for the consequences. Whatever will follow, make sure you are ready for it. Because the Bible says there is no curse against me. There is no magic that has any power against me. Because I am also one of the children of God. English Standard Version. There is no enchantment against Jacob, no divination against Israel. Now it will be said, see what God has done. See our protection in Christ Jesus. All right? Berean Standard Bible. There is no spell. There is no spell. Have you seen it? But they cast spell on Muhammad and it worked. It worked. And for months, he was misbehaving. He lost his mind. I'm not the one saying it. It's there in your hadiths. It's there. Muslims, what's wrong with you? It's there. That he lost his mind. He started behaving strangely. Started thinking that he had already slept with his wives when he did not. And that persisted for about a minimum of 6 months. Some narrations say up to 12 months. The question I want to ask you is this. During that period, did he receive revelation or not? And if he received revelation, how reliable were those revelations that were received during the period when he was not himself? How reliable? And imams and sheikhs, do you tell your members this? Do you? Do you? No, you don't. Before I close this up, I want to point your attention to something else. I want to point your attention to something else in the this story that we have been reading. Let's read another one. Let's read another one. So here is Sahih al-Bukhari again, 6391. So that nobody accuses me that I'm not reading. It's only one that I read. So let's make this clear enough. I want to read this. All right, this is Sahih al-Bukhari. Do you remember that this is invocation? This invocation. And it is 6391. Narrated Aisha that Allah's apostle was affected by magic so much that he used to think that he had done something which in fact he did not do. And he invoked his Lord for a remedy. Then one day he said, "O Aisha, do you know that Allah has advised me as to the problem I consulted him about, blah, 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 blah." So the same story. It was done by somebody who was an ally of the Jews, and then he went to the well, and he removed the thing. Okay. So let me read. They said, "Why didn't you take out the thing and this and this and that?" Look at this part. Look at this part. Narrated Hisham's father. Aisha said, Allah's apostle was bewitched. So he invoked Allah repeatedly, requesting him to cure him from that magic. Do you understand that? He was bewitched. So when you hear people online saying that it was that Muslims are following a bewitched prophet, we didn't frame it. It's there. It's there. Now, let me make something very clear. I'll come back to this place. I'll come back here. But let me make something clear at this juncture. the thing that I want to make clear is this. I am not just making fun of Muhammad. No, I'm not just making fun of Muhammad. I'm not just insulting Muslims. No, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is this. Muslims, think about these things. Why him only? Which other prophet? All these myriads of issues. Don't you think God is sending you a message to reconsider your belief? Don't you think so? If your imams, your sheikhs, if they are hiding these things from you, what else are they hiding? What else are they hiding? What else are they not hiding? If they are hiding these stories that have never been told you, if they're hiding this, what else do you think they're hiding? But I'm going to just mention one more thing before I close in this video. So here is the thing that I want to mention. I'll go back to the hadiths and let's narrate this. So this is Sahih al-Bukhari 5779. I heard Allah's apostle saying, whoever takes 7 ajwa dates, all right, in the morning will not be affected by magic or poison on that day. Let me put it on the screen. Have you seen that? He said, whoever takes 7 ajwa dates in the morning, he will not be affected by poison. He will not be affected by magic or poison on that day. These are the words of Muhammad himself. And guess what? Those two things affected him. Not on the same day, but on separate dates. Magic and poison. And he said, whoever takes 7 ajwa dates in any particular day, any day, he will not be affected by magic or poison. And if he knew that, I guess Allah was the one that revealed this to him. If he knew that, why did he not use them? Why didn't he use this remedy or this preventive measure, right? Why didn't he? Or there were no dates available. There were no dates available for him to eat. Let's read more. Let's read more. This is another one. 5769. I heard Allah's apostle saying, if somebody takes 7 ajwa dates in the morning, neither magic nor poison will hurt him that day. But he came under both magic and poison. Another one. Sahih al-Bukhari 5445. Allah's apostle said, he who eats 7 ajwa dates every morning will not be affected by poison or magic on the day he eats them. Let's ask the first question. This prescription, is it from God? Or is it just, I don't know. What do we call it? Is it still working today? Since this is the speech of Allah's apostle. Is this thing true? Muslims, are you eating ajwa dates 7 every day? Because this is the prescription of Muhammad. Are you? Let's read more. The prophet said, if somebody takes some, this one says some, they have been saying 7 ajwa dates every morning, he will not be affected by poison or magic on that day till night. Another narrator said 7 dates. Do you see contradiction? He who ate 7 ajwa dates in the morning, poison and magic will not harm him on that day. On and on like that. On and on. He who has he who has a morning meal of 7 ajwa dates will not suffer from any harm that day through poison or magic. It's the same. It's the same. So, the point that I'm making is this. Muhammad said a lot of things that did not, he himself was a victim of such things. So how do you reconcile that? How do you reconcile that? First of all, he said whoever eats this, poison or magic will not affect him. He was affected by those two on separate days. So why didn't he keep, maybe he forgot. Maybe Jubril forgot to remind him on those days. Okay. Then the most egregious of them is that what we should think about is that there is no other prophet in history that was affected by magic or divination or curse, as we see in Numbers chapter 23, verse 23. Nobody. And up to today, the true children of God are not affected by magic. And I've thrown the challenge out. Send your magic. Send your jinn. Send them. Send them to me. Send them to me. Use your juju. Use whatever you want to use. If there is, if I'm serving the living God, the true God, I tell you, you are the one to get ready for the backlash. Just get ready for what will follow if you try it. So that is that. No prophet, no true child of God can be affected by juju, because juju is the work of the devil. Magic is the work of the devil. How can magic overpower the power of God in a true prophet? How? It's not possible. So all this, okay, it was somebody that did it and Allah has cured it. It's all manipulation. It's all manipulation. Why did it work at all? Okay. So, second thing, even the poison. Which other prophet died by that? Through that means? In all of history? None. These things are not just mere coincidences. They are meant for us to think about. God doesn't want us to suspend our reasoning. Use your mind and say, wow, if things are like this, why? Why? Why him? Always. Why him? Only. Why him? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. So I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you, and God bless.